tutorial will take you through the online application for the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts New Hampshire Cares Artist-Led Project Grant category. The tutorial assumes that you have already created a free account at submittable.com. We recommend strongly that you read the grant guidelines and prepare all of your materials before you start filling out the online application. Have all of your materials ready to go and on your computer so that when you fill out the application, you can do it all in one sitting. So the application is pretty straightforward. The first part of the application is the applicant data, and we want your legal name. And this is very important. You want to use the name that you use for legal and tax purposes, because if you're awarded a grant, this is how the check will be made out. So we need all of this information, and you'll notice that anything with an asterisk is required. So your mailing address, phone, website, the URL for your Creative Ground profile, and we also need the arts discipline. This is the primary area of your creative work, and there's lots of stuff here to choose from, and you should be able to find your discipline in this list. Very important for us. The second section is to be filled out only if payment is going to be made to somebody other than you. The third section is all about your grant request. You want to tell us how much you're asking for. The upper limit of this grant category is $6,000. You want to give us a very short project title or a summary, and you can't go over 50 words in this box. When the project starts and ends, if there are events related to the project, when those are happening, the name of the project coordinator, if it's somebody other than you. We want to know whether this project is virtual, live, or a hybrid, because this grant will cover all three variations. And then you want to choose an arts discipline again, but this is for the project itself. It might be different than your primary creative practice. And then you want to give us some estimates of how many towns or communities are going to benefit, how many youth are going to be engaged in the project, and if it's a hybrid project, you want to tell us both the virtual estimate and the live estimate. Same thing with the number of adults that you're going to engage, how many people you expect you will be engaged by age, also by ethnicity, and then other distinct groups. You want to tell us how many artists are going to be involved in the project, including how many New Hampshire artists will be directly involved. And then if you are booking artists from one of our rosters, you want to tell us who they are and which roster they're on. Section 4 is all about accessibility assurances. This is very important. We require that all of our grant-funded projects be accessible. And so there is information here that will be required. There's also a National Endowment for the Arts brief accessibility checklist. We link to that in the guidelines. You're going to need to fill that out and then upload it here. But you will need to provide information about the place that your activities are going to occur. Now, if this is a virtual event, you want to let us know that, and you need to assure us that however you're presenting your event virtually will be accessible. So there are a series of questions here, and these questions primarily relate to physical spaces. And so if you're doing a virtual event or a hybrid event and you have questions about how to answer these questions for the virtual part of the event, just reach out to staff. We can help you with that. Section 5 is where you're going to upload your documents. And the upload here works exactly like attaching a document or a photograph to an email or uploading something to Instagram. You'll click Choose File. You will be directed to your computer. You navigate to where you've saved all of your documents and then choose the correct files. We prefer all of these materials to be uploaded in PDF format, just in case. If they are uploaded in another format, there's a chance that we could inadvertently edit them. And so PDF protects those documents. And so you'll upload your narrative, your budget form, your timeline, your resume or biographical statement. We also have an upload area for work samples. And this is not a required field. You can link, obviously you're going to give us your website and your Creative Ground profile URL where your work samples might be located. But if you have other artists that are working with you on this project, you want to create a document that will link their websites and Creative Ground profiles. If for some reason you don't have a website or a Creative Ground profile, you can also upload images or WAV files or audio or video files directly in this area. If you are working with other artists or outside contractors on this project, you need to provide information about them, and you can upload that information at letter F. We also require that if you have participating partners in this project, participating artists, which is part of the grant requirement, that you upload letters from them indicating their eagerness to participate and their commitment to the project. And then if you are going to be using some tools to evaluate the success of your project, you want to upload them here. And any letters of support that you might have for the project, you can upload as well. Section 6 is assurances and certifications. You want to certify that you will be following all COVID-19 health and safety guidelines. You need to agree that the project will be covered by liability or workers' compensation insurance where that's appropriate. Liability insurance is required for projects. And you also want to check the agree box that you will credit us and the National Endowment for the Arts in any media promotion for your project. And then finally, the certification is your electronic signature, and that is required as well. And so that is the application form. After you hit Submit Form, you should receive a message on your screen that the form has been submitted. If the system doesn't let you submit the form, that means that there's a required field that you didn't fill out, and you'll have to circle back, scroll back up into the document and find out what you missed. You should also receive an email confirmation that your application has been received. So that is the tutorial. Please let us know if you have questions. We look forward to seeing your application. Thanks.